Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Melissa. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little recommendation list for you for the upcoming Sephora sale. So as they've done in previous years, the sale will open for different tier levels on different dates. So starting on the 5th, everyone can get 30% off Sephora collection. So anything at Sephora collection, everyone is eligible, even if you're just signing up that day. If you're rouge, you go from the 5th to the 15th, you get 20% off. VIB starts April 9th to the 15th, you get 15% off. And Insider is April 9th to the 15th as well, and you get 10% off. So before I get into any recommendations, I guess I want to preface the video with first, if you don't have it, you don't need it. Meaning, if you don't have the money at this time when the sale is going on, don't put yourself into debt. Don't forego other important things that you have to pay for if you're saving for something just to buy makeup. I'm sure in your collection you already have everything you need. But if you do want to shop the sale, I do want to just give a little bit of advice. So, Sephora sale once upon a time was a very big deal. It seemed like this very big, monumentous event for makeup lovers. But as of late, I feel like Sephora has sort of lost their touch. I personally, when I go in store, I don't enjoy the experience. Once upon a time, that was like my favorite thing to do, go in and see new products. But now it's always very messy in there. Half of the displays are missing, or people have like made them look really nasty. The workers in my particular one, they're just like too busy chit-chatting. So honestly, the shopping experience in Sephora has not been great, at least in my local Sephora. But I will say, like, a lot of the brands you find in Sephora, now you can find at Ulta, and Ulta does send out like random 20% off coupons, including their prestige brands. So always keep an eye out for those. But besides that, the brands themselves, a lot of time will start you off at 15%. So if you only get 10% off at Sephora, I would say maybe just check out the brand sites individually, the ones that you're interested in. You may get a better deal, or you'll see a lot of times, if even if you wait, like I promise you, after this week, a lot of the brands are gonna have their own like private sales, and a lot of times they'll be like 20% off, 25% off. So just want to give that warning before you go ahead and buy things you don't necessarily need or spending money where you can get better savings elsewhere. So just throwing that out there. But I do acknowledge that some people may not have these other stores available to them, or you simply just still love shopping at Sephora, and this like do the sale normally around 2 times a year is a big deal because you get to pick up your favorites, try new products that you haven't tried before at a discounted price. So I did just want to share some recommendations I have. um, I am gonna do a bit of a get ready with me included in this video because I did use all products I recommend on the look I have today. So yeah, let's get into some of the products. So if I were you, this would be my time to look at fragrances. Rarely do you ever see fragrances go on sale. Sometimes you might catch them on like Macy's or Bloomingdale's, one of those sites, but normally fragrances don't go on sale. So I would say check out the fragrances if there's any that have been interesting you. I only have a travel size of this one, but I would love a full size. I might just buy another travel size because it is quite pricey for me. It's Kilian. I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. This is one of my most loved perfumes. Um, I wear this only on special occasions. If Tom Ford has ever piqued your interest, this would probably be a good time to pick up one of those. I don't love Tom Ford's fragrances, if I'm being honest. The what it's called? Something cherry. Lost cherry is the most tolerable to me, but the rest of them I'm not a huge fan of, but I know his fragrances are a bit on the pricey end, so if you've ever wanted one, now's the time. This brand, I believe, is exclusive to Sephora. It's Chris Collins. Most of his fragrances are unisex, and they are a bit pricier, so any brands that are exclusive to Sephora as well, I take advantage of this sale. Valentino makes some of my favorite fragrances. They just released a new one, so I'm probably gonna pick that one up. We'll see. I don't know. For skincare and body care, I don't have any recommendations for you because I don't buy skincare and body care from Sephora. Um, I go by the brands my dermatologist normally recommends to me because I do have two prescribed prescription or topical creams. So I try not to mess with skincare too much. Like the sunscreens I purchase, I either get them like at Target or Ulta. Nothing crazy. Same with body care. Like I'm good with a Dove body wash and some lotion from the drugstore. So body care things don't really appeal to me, especially not at that higher price range. But if that's something that you're into, now's a good time to check them out. Um, Paying a discounted price is better than paying full price. Here's another thing. I don't really go to Sephora really looking for products, but I do have two products that I did purchase during one of their sales that I do really enjoy. This is the Moroccan Oil Blow Dry Concentrate. So it's a bit of like a serum oil. You can use it to blow out your hair. So if you have curly hair or thicker hair or frizzier hair, this is a really nice product. Makes your hair silky smooth, very shiny, and smells phenomenal. And I also really enjoy the Bumble and Bumble BB Hairdressers Invisible Oil Heat UV Protective Primer. So I use this kind of as like a leave-in or a refresher. It's pretty expensive, so I try not to use it too often, but it smells really good. And again, it moisturizes the hair. I don't think this will do really well if you have like straight or fine hair, but if you're someone with curly, thicker hair that needs some extra moisture, this is a nice little spray leave-in sort of product. Now getting into the good stuff, the makeup. So I will go through the products how I would do my makeup. So starting with primers, I have three I'd recommend to you. First up is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is a classic for good reason. It's quite pricey, smells like citrus. It's a bit of a hybrid product. So it is a sort of a moisturizer, but it really acts as a good primer for your foundation because it does moisturize the skin, gets rid of any dry flakiness. I really enjoy this primer. Another one is going to be Makeup Forever's Redness Corrector, and this is specific to people who may have, as you can guess probably by the name, redness in their skin. I find this to be a very light, thin primer with a slight tinge of green, which offsets the redness in the skin. So if you are looking for a color correcting primer and you suffer from pretty red pigmentation in your skin, I'd say check this one out. And if you've seen any of my videos, you probably know that one of my go-to primers is the Milk Hydro Grip. I probably recommend this in almost every video I do. I love this primer. I find it to be hydrating. It really does grip the makeup, makes foundation last a lot longer, keeps your skin feeling fresh and hydrated. Yeah, so I still have a good amount. I won't need to pick up a new one right now, but I do highly recommend this primer. For foundation, I think Dior makes some of the best foundations, one of them being the Forever Skin Glow. It's dewy, but not too glowy, long lasting, really good coverage. I'd say it started off as a medium, but you can definitely build it up. Highly recommend really any of the Dior foundations, but I just used this one specifically for this video. If you want similar vibes to the Dior foundation, something very light, very dewy, sort of fresh on the skin, I'd say go with the House Labs. What is it called? The Triclone, if I can read. Skin Tech Foundation. I find this one to have light medium coverage, Again, another very dewy, fresh looking foundation, very light on the skin. So very similar to the Dior. I'd say it has a little less coverage, but they both give that very fresh, luminous glow to the skin. One of my favorite stick foundations is from Tom Ford. This is the Traceless Foundation Stick. This starts off as a medium. You can build this to full coverage. And what sets this apart from other foundation sticks is that this one is a little bit more dewy. A lot of times foundation sticks can be a bit dry, a bit stiff. Not this one though, but it's again not one of those dewies. Like, don't be scared. I hate throwing out the word hydrated or dewy and luminous. If you have oily skin, I feel like this would work for you because it's just lasts really well on the skin. It melts in, but has like a ton of coverage. It builds upon itself really well. So I really do highly recommend this foundation stick. And the last foundation I'd recommend is the new Prada foundation. First of all, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. It is refillable, so you don't have to pay the full price when you go through it. You can just buy the refill. This is more of a soft matte. I describe this. It's about medium coverage. I wouldn't overdo it with this one. It can get a bit cakey on the skin, in my opinion. But if you're okay with like a soft matte finish, something medium coverage, I think this is a really nice luxury buy. For cream contour bronzer sort of products, I really do enjoy the Westman Atelier cream contour face trace contour stick in the shade Biscuits. Very creamy, just the right amount of pigmentation. I really enjoy the tone of this contour. It's like not too gray, not too red. Works really well with my fair skin. And again, this is another brand that's very pricey, so if you can get it on sale, I'd say go for it. Another one, you can probably tell by how nasty this looks. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. So this one is a very different vibe to the other one. This one I love for like those no makeup look days. It's very sheer, blends out, it's very mistake proof. You can just like add a ton of this product and you can barely see it on the skin in the best way possible. It's just very undetectable. It has a bit of a sheen to it, so it looks more natural than if you were to go in with a more matte sort of product. So I really do enjoy this. I still have a little bit left, so trying to finish this up and then I will probably repurchase this because I absolutely love this cream product. For concealer, I'm first going to mention the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skincare and Concealer. First of all, the packaging is super nice. I really do enjoy this because it is more of a hydrating formula, something to use especially under the eyes. I do find myself having more fine lines and dryness under the eye. So something that doesn't emphasize that is great. And this is a concealer I would definitely recommend if you also suffer from dry under eyes and you're starting to see some lines. This one just blends out really easily. It's very lightweight. You're not gonna get a ton of coverage out of it, but it's definitely good for those everyday soft makeup sort of looks. I highly enjoy this concealer. Now, if you're really looking for a concealer that can cover up some marks, some dark under eyes, I would recommend the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I find that this concealer blends out beautifully. It's not overly drying, but it has a really good amount of coverage. Um, yeah, I can't recommend this enough. It's fairly new to my collection, but I have been reaching for it more than any other concealer in my collection. I have another mention from Dior. This is the Forever Skin Correct Concealer. I think Dior just does face products really well. Their foundations and their concealers are really beautiful. This one, I'd say it falls somewhere in the middle of these two. It's about medium coverage, not too matte, not too dewy, more of like a satin sort of finish. So if the Natasha Denona may be too much coverage or too matte for you, or this one is just too light for you, I'd say maybe go for the Dior Found Concealer. Powders aren't really products that excite me, but if you want to pick up some products, I really do enjoy the Say Air set. I feel like it does a good job really smoothing things down, bringing down the shine, mattifying your skin a bit, It is not overly heavy. I find that it never really gets cakey on my skin type. My only complaint is the shade I have, at least, which is translucent. I don't think you go any lighter than translucent. It does darken my foundation a little bit, so that is my one complaint. But as an overall powder, I think it's very nice. One of my holy grail powders is the Kosas Cloud Sets. I really like this for all over the face. If I can open it, that'd be fantastic. So you can see. I'm not lying to you. I love it. It's very light on the skin. It's not gonna do a good job at like really buckling in the makeup. But if you're just looking for like a very soft powder to just bring down the shine a little bit, even things out, this one is really nice, especially with summer coming up. I don't personally like to bake and do all that with a lot of powder, so I find this one's nice for just areas where I need to bring the shine down a little bit. For those days where I do want my concealer and foundation to last, I find the one size, and this is the travel. This has lasted me forever because I primarily use this under the eyes. I think it does a really good job just blurring everything, mattifying everything, setting your makeup in. So yeah, I don't know how much I have left, but if you just want to start with a travel size, I think this would go a very long way for you unless you like really pack on powder, then go the large size. So normally I would just get brow products from the drugstore. I think the drugstore has come a very long way putting out certain products. They sometimes outperform what you'll find at Sephora. But if you want to pick up something for your brows, I say the Kosas Brow Pop Nano is really nice. It has a very fine tip, very pigmented. So I really like this one because my eyebrows aren't super thin, but they're also not super full. So I feel like with the smaller tip, it gives me a bit more precision. And I really enjoy the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. I like a crunchy brow. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm really not into brow waxes. So I like something to really make my brows hard, keep them in place. So this has never failed me, and I will probably forever repurchase this. Getting into powder bronzers, I think Hourglass powders are beautiful, including their bronzers. This is Luminous Bronze Light. I just love how it blends into the skin. This one is a little bit orangey, but they do have other shades if you find this one to be too orange for you. Um, yeah. Another bronzer I'd recommend though is from House Labs. I have mine in the shade Light Level 3. These are very beautiful powders, very buttery smooth, blend beautifully into the skin. I'm not sure if they have silicone in it, but by the way they blend and feel, I would assume they do. But they just look very nice on the skin, seamless, easy to blend, and they've got a variety of different undertones and shades. So I would recommend their bronzers as well. I feel like a lot of people forget about certain brands, one of them being Bobbi Brown. Pink Glow Highlighter has been one of my go-to highlighters for years. It's probably one of the first ones I've ever purchased. I just love that you can kind of customize the highlighter if you want to go more icy. Just focus it on the white parts. If you want it a little bit pinky, you can just brush it all together. I absolutely love this highlighter. It's very smooth, doesn't look too metallic on the skin. Highly recommend. Another highlighter that has a shinier finish to it, but mine did break, so I'm scared to open it, is the infamous Rare Beauty highlighters. I think everyone loves these highlighters, but again, mine broke. So sad. I don't know how that happened. I must have dropped it maybe. But yeah, these definitely have more intensity to them. So if you're someone who likes an intense highlighter, and they, I believe, are a lot more affordable than the Bobbi Brown ones, I'd say check them out. I haven't tried a lot of things from Rare Beauty. I don't know, like, it doesn't really appeal to me as a brand. Like, I love Selena Gomez, but when they release things, I'm just like, meh. For cream blushes, I'm going to recommend the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blushes. I really enjoy these because they are buildable. They're this sort of cream to soft, powdery matte finish. They last really well on the skin. Um, I really enjoy these. You get a ton of product. You'll never run out of these. Another one I really enjoy, specifically in summertime, you know, you want that like sunburnt red sort of look. The Huda Beauty, what are these called? Cheeky tint in the shade Rebel Red specifically. I love that for summertime. It really shears out, so don't be too scared of it. You can use it on the lips, on the cheek. It just gives you like you just came in from the sun. So if you're into that, I highly recommend this one. I might pick up other colors. I'll see what other colors they offer, but I really do enjoy the formula on these. It was a little hard narrowing down blushes. I didn't want to overwhelm anyone, so I'm trying to be a little bit more selective and really think about products that I love that are in my collection. I feel like the Laura Mercier blushes are super slept on. They are absolutely beautiful. They're not the most exciting blush on the market, but I find the pigment to be very beautiful. They blend very beautifully. Like the shade Chai is like one of those blushes you can wear with basically any sort of look. I absolutely adore it. I think the Valentino blushes, while a little bit overpriced, I think they're absolutely beautiful. Again, they have different finishes. Some are a little bit more luminous. Highly recommend. I know some people think the packaging is a bit tacky, which it is, but whatever. And another Hourglass mention. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm liking Hourglass. Like Hourglass was a little bit untouchable for me before. Like I was out of its tax bracket. I still am, but I can afford it once in a while. But I think their blushes are very beautiful. I love the swirl, the softness to them. They blend beautifully on the skin. They have like this sort of like soft luminosity. So if you wanted to forego a highlighter, their blushes are very nice. Yeah, so that's what I have for you for blushes. I could keep going, but I'm gonna keep it there. For eyeshadows, I'm gonna go like the big three that come to my mind in Sephora: Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, and Danessa Myricks. We can throw in Charlotte if you want to throw in Charlotte as well. Pat McGrath does have really good sales on her websites, but if you want to pick up any of these brands, I'd feel like now is the time. I personally really like the Glam palette from Natasha Denona. Just got a bunch of very usable, not neutral, but it's a little bit cool leaning, but not scary cool leaning. So I really do highly recommend that. I recently picked up her Yucca palette. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you want to go more the green route, like I don't think you'd have any regrets. Say Pat McGrath does have great sales on her site, so if you want to wait for one of those, I would recommend that. If not, one of the motherships, if you don't own them, um, they are just so luxurious. The packaging is heavy, the mirror is cut beautifully, the eyeshadows are just pure luxury. If you like shimmers, and the mattes are very pigmented, blend out very easily. Yeah, I think everyone should have at least one of these in their collection. They are very pricey. Yes, I know that. Makeup is not a necessity. Makeup is a luxury, but if you're a makeup lover, I think you need a Pat McGrath palette in your collection. And if any of those are a little bit overwhelming for you, you can just go with Charlotte Tilbury. She's got very easy quads. You don't have to put much thought into it. The look is there for you already. Um, Yeah, this one is Uptown Girl. I think everyone gives the attention to Pillow Talk, but if you want like a very easy, smoky eye, don't gotta think about it, Uptown Girl is the way to go. I also don't think you can go wrong with Danessa Myricks. She's got so many fun different products to play around with. And the look I have today, this is the Color Fix foil in the shade Milky Way. I love this eyeshadow. It's just so sparkly, so ethereal. She's got those in a ton of colors. And I recently did pick up her Groundwork palettes, both of them. And wow, they are so different to anything you're gonna find at Sephora. You get this sort of pomade texture that you're not gonna find in another eyeshadow palette. They are all matte, so if you are into matte shadows, I don't think you would regret either of these. Lip liners is also one of those products I rather just get at the drugstore, honestly. But if you want a higher end lip liner, I doubt that you can go wrong with the Makeup Forever Artist color pencils. They can be used for more than just the lips. These are a multi-use pencil that come in a variety of different colors. The one I used today is in the shade Endless Cacao. So very nice, very smooth, very pigmented, lasts very long on the skin. If you want a nice, juicy, plumping gloss, the ones from Patrick Ta are beautiful. They are called the Major Volume Plumping Gloss. They have a little bit of a mintiness to it. The plumping effect is not painful, to me at least, but I absolutely love this gloss. And these are more so just like brand recommendation. Again, there are certain brands you will never find on sale, not on their sites, not at other retailers. So Gucci makes phenomenal matte, especially their matte lipsticks. If you want to check out any of their lipsticks, I say go for the mattes. Very pigmented, very buttery, very luxurious. So Gucci is one of those brands, especially for lip products, I would check out. Again, I don't know, maybe I love Dior more than I even realized. Dior lip products I absolutely love, whether you want to go glossy, matte, they have it for you. They have a bunch of flattering, beautiful shades. You can never go wrong with YSL, but I will let you know a lot of times YSL has their own little sales where sometimes you can even like buy one get one free or buy one get one half off or whatever the sale may be. So always check out their websites if you don't want to pay full price for their lip products. And I'll finish off with a mascara. Again, mascara is one of those products that doesn't excite me. I'd rather go the drugstore route. But the only reason I'm mentioning this one, this is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara. This is a tubing mascara, and I love this mascara. I have very watery eyes. They get irritated very quickly. And yes, tubing mascaras do come off of water, but if it were to come off, I don't have to worry about it smearing everywhere. I can just flick off the little tubes, no big deal. So I absolutely love this mascara. It is a little bit pricey. And I know there are other tubing mascaras on the market, but I really like this one. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming. I really did try to edit the products I want to recommend. I do have other videos from previous Sephora sales, so I can list those down below if you're interested. There may be repeat products, I'm not sure. But yeah, my opinion on the makeup I did recommend today stands true. These are products I purchased myself that I love, that I enjoy using. So yeah, I just want to thank anyone who watched my video for your time. I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Let me know what you're getting during the sale. Or you're going to skip it altogether. I might, honestly. But yeah, let me know down below. And I can't wait to see you next time. Take care. Have a good day.